Hello, my name is Will Stewart, and I am a student in the master's program at ASU for Health Informatics. I live in Sierra Vista with my wife, our son, and three English bulldogs. For the past 30 years, I've been involved in military medicine. I did 26 years active duty in clinical and leadership roles, and now I'm a clinical workflow analyst for the Army Health Center here at Fort Huachuca. What I really hope to take away from this course is an understanding of the challenges facing implementation and adoption of telemedicine. Maybe get some best practices because I'm going to be the lead as we expand our virtual health capabilities here for our soldiers at Fort Huachuca in the very near future. So it's very relevant to me. My interest in telemedicine really has its roots from when I was active duty and would deploy, and seeing that we had gaps in our health IT capabilities. And so we would often be exposed to unnecessary risk because we did not have not only a robust IT infrastructure in combat zones where you have a very austere environment. It's very kinetic, but you would have limited resources to specialty services. So you would have one ophthalmologist in Kandahar, one neurologist in Bagram. So if you had a TBI patient, you put them on a bird to see the neurologist, or if you had a penetrating eye injury, you have to send them to the ophthalmologist. And many times, if we kept that patient with us and used telemedicine instead, I think we would have minimized our exposure to risk because it can be dangerous to transport casualties across the battle space. And I think that's one of the surprises that I've come to realize over the past year or so that I've been in this program is just how behind the curve not only DoD but the U.S. healthcare system is with the adoption and implementation of telemedicine. Industries throughout the globe, especially those that are competing in a global market, have adopted these technologies, and it seems that the healthcare industry has been averse to any risk that they might incur if they did adopt it. So it's going to be interesting to see over the next several years how this expands throughout our healthcare environment. The applications of telemedicine that are most important to me, or at least what I find the most interesting, are those that are capable of being utilized in combat zones. As we become smaller but more lethal, doctors and nurses and specialists are not necessarily going to deploy to combat zones. So having mobile technologies that allow for communication to occur, whether it's asynchronous or synchronous, is going to be important for the war fighters to have access to the best possible care, despite maybe not having a physical person to go to within that those times when it's most needed. And as far as why I think that telemedicine is being adopted now, or at least the main driver for telemedicine's adoption is patients as consumers, patients as their own advocates, where there's wearable technologies, mobile applications for their smartphone that allows them to increase their health literacy, increase their communication with their provider, and ultimately puts them in the driver's seat for their own healthcare and medical decision making. So that's me, Will Stewart, in a nutshell. If you watch this, my apologies if I rambled, but thank you for your time anyway, and I look forward to collaborating with you guys over the next several weeks.